Ladies and gentlemen, daddies and zaddies, welcome to Mostly Speaking Sentai's Thursday Night Throwdown, brought to you by Ranger Command Power Hour and Sherman-Williams Paint Chips. Eat a handful of Sherman-Williams practically beige color paint chips and forget about the stresses in your life, because you'll be dead in heaven watching tonight's match in crisp HD on an 80-inch Insignia screen in Jesus' man cave made of clouds. Speaking of which, tonight's match is set for one fall, which you know what that means. At least I hope you do, because I sure don't. Coming to the stage and weighing in at 5 old teens and a 24-minute runtime with intro and outro, we have Time Rangers Battle Casino. And here to defend their title as the greatest work in cinema history, coming to us from 1941 with a lack of any color, both literally and figuratively, the titan of movie trivia 101, Citizen Kane. And let the match begin, so get your bets in. Ring that bell and oh Jesus Christ, Time Ranger has picked up Rosebud, the sled Rosebud, and yes, oh God, yes, Time Ranger is slashing through the throat of the conceptual manifestation of Citizen Kane. My God, the audacity, the tenacity, the downright resourcefulness of Time Ranger. Blood is spraying from left to right, raining down from high in the sky above the ring, and with a deafening thud, Citizen Kane has bled out, declaring Time Ranger's Battle Casino episode the greatest feat in cinematic work the world has ever seen. Brought to you by Ranger Command Power Hour and Sherman-Williams Now Bagel Color Paint Chips. My name is James.
I'm Nicole.
And this is Mostly Speaking Sentai. Guys, I'm so sweaty now. That intro took a lot out of me. Oh, so much so that, oh no, it's like someone casted blight on me and I'm a plant creature and I can't wait and hit it and crit it till Corey sicks a plant-based creature like an impossible whopper at us and I can say blight, and then Jose's gonna say blight, and that auto crits on the bitch, and then Corey will say, well, there goes my plans, and then even if he somehow...
This is the wrong podcast.
Somehow he finagles out of it, guess what? I'm gonna just crunch it real quick with my wizard strength, which you think isn't good, but it is, guys.
Like a pickle.
Oh, pickle, Mr. Rick. How many pieces do you wish? And speaking of Ricks, I don't know where, should I redo this intro, my queen? Okay, guys, it's not getting redone. But we have so much to talk about today. Like from scheduling stuff to our guest to so much more. So please let me welcome in my host with the most, and I'm talking about in the every department, my queen, my bride to never be, Nicole the Bricks Jacus.
Hi.
How are you today? And make it quick, Nicole.
Wow, okay. I'm good.
All right, so quick. Just because I wanted to quickly say our schedule for the month of December will be a little different than other weeks and months. And you get what I'm saying, girls. We have such a huge woman audience, Nicole.
All I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman. A giant woman.
Okay, today is December the 3rd when you're listening to this on release date. On the 10th, we're trying to take some time off, mainly me, from doing so much work. I don't get the opportunities to have the luxury of vacations, so...
Nobody does in 2020.
Yeah, it's all day,
unless you're a monster.
Yeah, I mean, like, people can technically have vacations. Like staycations.
They know who they are, okay?
They
know who they are.
Can literally just list off 5 dates and then we can intro our guest. Okay. We don't want you guys to have nothing in the feed, so we're bringing some Patreon exclusive episodes from that paywall into your ears. So on the 10th, we'll be releasing an episode of Talking About Beyblade. On the 17th will be our Pissmas episode, which will be filmed or recorded live on Twitch. More information about that later. We're just trying to lock in guests. Then on the 24th, an Engaged with Nicolas Cage episode will be released from the Patreon paywall. And finally, our call-in show, which will be recorded on December 13th, live on Twitch. So you'll be able to also hear the calls opposed to last year where you would have to be like, is someone calling right now? We don't know. It was a bad setup. We didn't have good internet, or wait, we had a good computer. Not good internet last year. So that's what you got to look forward to in the coming months. But today on the podcast, you get excited because you have to look forward to, oh my God, he's a beautiful guest. He's a beautiful fan, a beautiful listener from the Gundam podcast Buildcasters, from the Legion of Boom, and from Power Ranger Hexagon. We have SentaiFive back on the show.
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
It's going fantastically. How about you, sir?
Good. You both have a fantastic Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we hung out. We ate some chicken chili that Nicole made, and then Nicole was like, "Oh, let's play Mario Party right now." And I was like, "This late, Nicole?" And then it was.
I really wanted to play.
And then we streamed Mario.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, just because it was so long, and we started at like 10:30, and normally that's our bedtime.
Ish.
I feel that, yeah.
And we ended up going to bed at like 1 a.m.
No, it was 2. Like we did. The stream didn't get done till 1:30.
No,
Wow.
It was like 1. Because then you had to go to the bathroom. So for you, it was 2.
You don't know my routine.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. How?
I was there.
You weren't anywhere because you're a figment of the social consciousness.
What?
5 thoughts on the social consciousness. What's your opinion about it?
No comment. No comment at all.
Okay, dang. Because also, I'd like someone to tell me what the social consciousness is, because I don't know what it is. Nicole?
Cool. Well, moving on.
All right, movingon.org. 5, we know, of course, you're into Sentai. That's your name, SentaiFive.
Yeah.
But people should also know you love Gundam.
Hell yeah.
Give us a quick, or actually, let me just say this first. Gun to your head. If Gundams were real, how quickly would you kill yourself with that gun to your head? Because that's terrifying.
I'd rather drop a space colony on my head, because that's what Gundam eventually comes down to in most of the series.
Dang, that would be crazy that a space colony gets out of orbit and then crashes into another planet. Has that happened in the show?
Yeah, it's happened. It's actually happened multiple times.
Dang.
Multiple
Nicole.
times.
We got to start watching Gundam, but we're trying to tackle One Piece. And
I've been tempted to read,
Yeah.
I think it's like Gundam Origins, the manga, because we got them in the store and they're hardcover, and I just love that hardcover manga. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular one. They did the anime for the past few years on it as well. It's basically like a retelling of the original Gundam. I love that they're re-releasing popular series as hardcover. They're so pretty, and it's hard not to buy them.
that Gundam, or not Gundam, that Sentai manga will be hardcover.
Oh yeah, it will be.
That's right. What?
It's the
Go Ranger.
Yeah, the Go Ranger Sentai.
Oh, okay.
I told you about it, and I said, hey, if you want something for Christmas.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and there was nothing.
Oh, okay, well, you got to pre-order it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's only like $24, which is crazy. It's hardcover, 300 some pages.
Yeah. I almost bought the Soul Eater hardcovers, but
For
I was
me?
like, no.
Do you own Soul Eater?
No, I don't.
Okay, you own the TV series.
Yeah, the series, yeah.
Okay, but SentaiFive, or should we say
Yes.
Gundam 5? If Gundam were actually real, that would be bonkers. Like, just think of Trump with a a mobile suit military.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That'd be the worst thing ever.
It'd be insanity.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. And we're slowly getting there with the with Japan having its movable mobile suit right now.
It's scary.
And,
I don't want to think about that. It's terrifying.
It's impressive, but scary at the same time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The funniest thing would be like Trump saying we have Gundam, and then it's like, well, no, they're just mobile suits. They're not made out of the material. It's a specific thing. And then he'd say, no, I saw secret documents. We're making a Gundam right now. And it's like, oh my God, why did you tweet that out?
Oh, jeez.
But really, he's just watching the anime and thinks that it's real life.
No, I'm positing a world where it actually is real life.
Yeah.
What would be the coolest, if Gundam were real, what would be the coolest thing about it?
The coolest mobile suit to be
No,
real?
just like the coolest, like, wow, we live in a world with Gundams. What's just the coolest thing in that world?
Just regularly traveling back and forth from Earth to space.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Living in space colonies. The way they design these space colonies is incredibly beautiful. I have to admit. They make them so like grand and everything, just so they can just blow them up in mobile suit battles.
Are there like space colonies that it's just like off limits? We do not allow Gundam or mobile suits.
In one of the shows, there was Gundam Seed. There was a space colony specifically that was neutral to like the war that was going on, and they forbade any mobile suits or any kind of allegiance to any side. But secretly, they were building their own mobile suits under one of the Earth forces secretly, and hence it was the Gundams. And then the other side found out about it and invaded the space colony and blew that shit up.
Whoa, Gundam is ruthless.
Yeah, Gundam. There's
no
really there's not a lot of endings to Gundam. There's a lot of unnecessary death and violence, which is kind of the main point of it. That war is bad. Look at this cool robot.
It's like the small soldiers of a time of yore.
No.
Because that's what Small Soldiers is about.
Yeah, sure.
We got to do a watch along of Small Soldiers.
Do we, though?
Yes. Five, your thoughts and opinions on Small Soldiers.
That's been a while. I haven't seen it since like 1998. I only watched it once.
I saw it last year many times, falling asleep to it on Netflix. It's a great movie, great series. But if you were to if you're like, hey, people listening, watch this Gundam series, what is the one you would recommend?
This is actually pretty easy because it's very lighthearted and it kind of captures the heart of Gundam and the hobby of Gunpla itself. It would be Gundam Build Fighters. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh in a sort of way because like there's a whole tournament and then you put your plastic mobile suits that you build into this like virtual reality generator, and it like uses these particles to bring it to life. And basically it's like the whole point of it is just to have fun with your build, and there's no real how do I explain it?
Like politics involved?
Yeah, there's no real politics, there's no actual war to it until like you get to like the third entry. Basically that's when there's a whole war behind it, but it's pretty much like straightforward good and bad, not like, oh, this point of view is actually kind of right at the same time, but they're portrayed as bad. It's not like that. It's more so like you just have fun with your friends, and the heart of Gunpla is freedom, because you can build whatever you want, customize whatever you want, and just bring it to life and have fun with it.
Are there any like Yu-Gi-Oh or like Beyblade or even Metabots where you see, oh my God, there's this special bit piece that we can put in and it unlocks an ancient god?
Kind of, not really. I know Build Divers kind of they kind of like rebuilt their mobile suits through like this magical like force, because they went to, so in Build Fighters they thought they were playing a game. They're doing like a side quest on this mystical land, but it turns out to actually be like a real planet deep in space.
Okay.
And the consequences were actually pretty gruesome for that planet, because some of those people actually died in this like satellite blast. So they had to like figure out how to like save all these people while still playing the game, basically. And they upgraded their mobile suits through like all this technology and stuff. Not a specific bit, but they also had to like find this sacred beast and convince him to fight with all of them.
That's a mind fudge.
It's
kind of like
a lot going on in a 25 episode show.
Like playing with ants or an ant farm, and you're like digging up an anthill, but as a child, you're not like thinking of the repercussions of like, wow, you are playing God right now.
Yeah.
Right? That's
basically, yeah.
Or if like not Pikmin, like if Sim City were really like you were really operating a real city.
Or like the episode of Adventure Time where they have like mini versions of themselves.
Maybe.
Okay.
The one where they go inside Jake and there's a city inside of him?
No.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, there's an episode.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And everyone is voiced by Billy West for some weird reason.
Magic Man is like, hey, I'm going to fuck with these two, and just gives them tiny versions of themselves. And Jake is like, nah, I'm not going to fuck with that. And Finn like stays up for like 2 days, just like seeing what happens when he like puts 2 and 2 together, and is like just totally fucked by the end.
Yeah, okay, I remember that now. But I mean, like on a larger scale, Nicole, he knows he's messing with those people. But if you're like, oh, wow, it doesn't, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Who knows?
On a lighter note, I would, for a Gundam series, I would recommend Sergeant Frog.
Yeah. The lightest Gundam series you can get. Which I forget, there was someone on one of our streams who said that they do this for the first 25 days of December. They pick like a Christmas special from a TV show every single night and watch it, which by this time we've already watched like the Captain Underpants one and 2 others. But there's some Sergeant Frog Christmas specials that I threw on there that I'm very excited to watch.
Yeah, I don't remember those at all.
Me neither.
Thoughts on Sergeant Frog?
It's been a while. When the hell did I first watch it? It must have been like 10, 15 years ago maybe when I first saw it.
Dang.
It's all right. I don't think it's mainly for me, but I see the appeal to it.
Nicole was like 5 years old 15 years ago.
No.
Yeah, you were 10.
Yeah, I was like 10, 11 years old.
Nicole's going to be 30 this year.
That's not true.
Yeah, no, I don't know how old my spouse is. SentaiFive, you got a lover in your life.
I do, actually.
Hell yeah.
She been with her for about a year and a half now, actually.
You made it through this pandemic together. That's good.
Yeah, we actually we did very well.
I mean, but you've made it.
Made it through. We are not done yet.
Okay, but if in relationship terms, a lot of people after the first month.
Yeah, you're saying like by now it would have been done.
Yeah, because they're like, man, I want to just get on a Skype and cyber with someone. Not just be held down to one person who I can rarely see because we don't know if the other person has been in contact and or is non-symptomatic. You know the word. What's been your favorite quarantine date idea?
Really just ordering in and watching whatever on Netflix.
Hell yeah.
Out. We're very simple when it comes to stuff like that. We don't have to go like all out or anything.
Same. You been watching Gotham?
No, I haven't. No, I didn't get past the first season.
Oh,
it's fine. No one is. Just us. We're trying to find someone to talk to about it because it's ridiculous.
I think my brother watched it. I don't know if he kept up with it or not, but I know he was into it at one point.
It's now it's a full-blown on soap opera, and truly Someone was we were like, holy shit, they just straight up shot the like main villain right in the head. That's insane. And there's still like 6 episodes left of the season. She's in a coma somehow. How? Just straight up.
Because it's a soap opera, James. Someone has to be in a coma. Those are the rules.
Just a 9mm 6 feet away, not like grazed the top of the head, right into the forehead.
Yes. Yeah, the forehead.
That person's gonna
and the gut.
That person's going to come back and be like they probably got Grundied. Like they got the.
Someone's just gonna come in and just like pour radioactive waste on them, like on accident somehow.
What's the Indian Trails shit is gonna
like
dump
a nurse
on them.
is just gonna have a giant tub, like one of those giant like gallon or not gallon drums, and just be like whoop and slip on a banana peel and spill it all over.
And it'll be someone picking up radioactive waste.
Sure, yeah.
And there was one time, I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast, but I used to clean offices, and one of the offices was an outpatient, and twice I think the same night, it's mostly just paper materials, the stuff from the beds, the paper.
Yeah, you got to squish it down.
Yeah, you got to squish it down. I squished it down, and there was a syringe open in there, and it happened, and I called and I said, hey, this happened. Then it happened again, and I said, if this happens one more time, I'm off the job. I will just quit on the spot. This should not be happening. I shouldn't have to worry about my health and safety and getting fucking stabbed.
Getting fucking
But then I would have been Solomon Grundy.
Diseases from stuff.
Damn. I could have been
or
a
you'd
walking
be the
zombie.
crack fox.
Ooh. You watch Mighty Boosh?
Crack Fox?
It's from Mighty Boosh.
It's terrifying.
All right, but we've been talking for quite a bit. Let's get into the greatest episode of Super Sentai, in my opinion. But first, SentaiFive, I don't recall if we talked about this on when you were on the 100th episode. What's your introduction to Super Sentai and or Power Rangers?
All right, so sit down and relax because this is going to be a long story. I'll try to shorten it down. But so basically, I've gotten into Power Rangers ever since like I could ever remember, basically, mainly because of my older brother and my cousin. Growing up, it was just us three all together all the time, so we were always watching the same shows. So by default, they were always watching Power Rangers on Fox Kids every single day. So I was watching it with them. And I remember as early as like Zeo is when I started watching, or at least when I could remember watching. And ever since then, it's been basically nonstop. So how I got into Super Sentai was that like I always knew ever since I was a little kid that Power Rangers was like not from America at all. It looked like it was from Japan, and it was. There was during Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, they did a hiatus like in the middle of the spring. Walter Jones and Austin St. John, they hosted a Lost episode special where they did this whole like history about the Power Rangers and like where it came from. And they showed a few clips from Jew Ranger, and they said, "Oh, Power Rangers was originally from Japan, and it started a long time ago and stuff." And I was like, "Wow, I want to see what the Japanese version is now that I know it's actually from Japan." And then a few years after that, actually no, around the same time, my brother showed me Ginga Man clips, and now this is like the late '90s, so you have to wait for like all this stuff to really, really buffer and stuff. So he somehow found Ginga Man clips. And he showed them to me, and then he showed me Go-Go 5 clips, which was going to be Lightspeed Rescue the year after. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. I need to see more of this. And then a few years later, around 2004, I got onto Ranger Board. And then that's when I started watching Deca Ranger like every single week because people had the download links on either Ranger Board or like other non-existent Power Ranger forums.
Hell yeah.
And it never stopped then. So
that's so cool. I'm jealous of people in any fandom who can be like talk like that of like, oh, I was watching this stuff from such a early age. Like I forget who it was, but someone on like Ranger Command was talking how they would get VHSs of Die Ranger. And I'm like, holy...
I'm jealous of those people.
Yeah. Like...
I'm so jealous of those people.
The most I can say is like, oh, I was into Axe Murder Boys before they got big. And that's it. And that's such a small thing. I guess like Dorian Electra, we could say, like, we were into Dorian Electra before she got big, when she was just Don Bogman to us. But yeah, like, I was also never part of... I was a lurker in a lot of forums and stuff, but I hated posting because people would always just be assholes to me, to everyone.
And then the forums would be like, if you have an account, you have to make a certain amount of posts this year, otherwise you're going to get your account deleted or whatever.
Oh, man, I was never in ones like that.
I think Ranger Board did that once upon a time, and then like, so originally I went on Ranger Board just for their download section because that's all I really needed them for. And then eventually you had to become a member to get the download section. So I was like, oh God, I guess I got to start posting on here. And then, yeah, people are very ruthless on the forums, so I was like, all right, I'm going to try to keep my posting down to a minimum and just go on whenever I need to go on. That's really it. Just
say things like, that's super dope, man. That's what I do on Reddit. Those are the only... if it's fan art, I say, that's hella dope, dude. I never state my opinion. Except when people are talking down on...
That is an opinion.
I mean, you know what I mean. But it's really good fan art, and the consensus is
it's a
very dope.
supportive opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if people start dogging on Car Ranger or Five Man on the Super Sentai Reddit, I come in and defend it. I'm like, it's awesome. You guys should check it out.
I will defend both of those with you as well.
Yes.
I like Five Man and Car Ranger. I think Five Man's pretty underrated, to be honest.
Yeah. Because people always... It's so dumb how people are like, it had such poor ratings on the TV when it was airing, so it has to be bad. And it's like, no.
No, those usually are the good ones.
Look at Freaks and Geeks. And I'm not talking about the TV show. I'm talking about the Childish Gambino song. But man, that's so cool. I had that experience with Sailor Stars before that came out in America, of seeing fan subs from LimeWire that a friend's sister would download and show me.
Ah, okay.
But
very nice.
I didn't keep up with it, and I wasn't a part of the community. Nicole, any fandoms you were in?
God, fandoms
or just things.
Just things.
Yeah. Are you into things that were a subculture and now it's a big culture? Front bottoms? That?
Sure.
Yeah. I was into them before my friends were into them.
So you just mean like creators even?
Yeah.
Sarah Grayley.
Oh, yeah.
Ezra Clayton Daniels.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who's a comic book artist and writer. Sarah Grayley's a comic book artist and writer. And this band that I can't even fucking remember the name of.
Don Bogman's band?
No, they opened for...
Do they have wolves in it? No. It's Time or Life.
No. They opened for...
Pierce the Veil.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Shut up. I'm trying to think.
You tell me to shut up and I'm shutting up.
They opened for Escape the Fate.
Oh.
I honestly don't fucking even remember what the band name was. But I like bought their EP before, like from that show, and then they like blew up because of that, because they were touring with them.
I was into Razakel before everyone was. Before Murder Potion was even out.
Oh, Twilight.
Oh, you were into the books before it became movie?
Yeah, before everyone was talking about it. Yeah,
Wow.
that is a fan. Yeah, that's a fandom that I was.
That is.
Because it was like, it came to our school from a book fair, and a friend of mine bought it, and they're like, hey, you have to read this. It's really good. And then, as the books came out, we read all of them. And then I remember when the movie was released in theaters, we all like bought movie tickets beforehand because we were like obsessed with these books. We were like, oh my God, this movie's going to be like sold out because these books are so good. Like everyone's going to want to see it. And it was like our group of friends plus like maybe 10 other people, like opening night, like I think it was the midnight showing.
And then I think New Moon was probably the complete opposite. You had to get tickets.
I didn't go see it.
Oh, why? That's the best one.
I only ever saw the first one, and then I was like, wow, these are really bad. And then but I love that movie though. I do. Like, it's bad in a fun way. And then it became super popular and it was just like annoying, so I was over it.
Chelsea Bodick was in, like, when the first book came out, she was talking about it. So I don't know, probably 9th grade for us, for like when I was in 9th grade, maybe 10th grade. She's like, yeah, I've just been reading this all summer. It's so good. I was like, okay. And then flash forward a few years and it's a mega hit. We did see...
yeah, it was when I was in middle school.
Speaking of Twilight, when we saw 50 Shades of Grey opening night, that was so good.
Tried not to laugh. Like, oh my God.
All right, but...
I seriously thought I was going to have to leave the theater because I was laughing so hard.
It's a bonkers movie. And then I saw Twilight after that, and Nicole had told me, like, it's a shot-for-shot remake and just reskinning of Twilight. And when I saw Twilight, I was like, holy shit, I have seen this before.
Yeah.
It's insane. Five, have you ever seen Twilight or 50 Shades?
I can't say that I have.
One time my grandma, did I tell you, one time for Christmas, my grandma bought me like the 50 Shades of Grey book series, and I was like, Grandma, no.
I think you did.
And she was like, it was on your list, and I was like, I know for a fact this is not on my list. Of all the people, I would not ask my grandmother to buy me this. That is insane. She was like,
grandma.
Okay, I'll return it. And I was like, oh my fucking God.
And whoever's list it was on was just not talking. They're like,
It was, well, it was on my cousin's list because I think she also got it though.
Oh, okay. So she bought 2? Maybe it was a 2-for-1.
But my cousin is like 3 or 4 years older than me.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So, yeah, it made sense for her, but not for me.
How old were you? Was it before us meeting?
I don't remember. It was...
No, I feel like it had to have not been before because I feel like you back then, before we met, would have been like, yeah, okay, Grandma. I don't feel like you would have been like, oh, this is not me. Because you were like shy and coy.
I was painfully shy growing up. Like it hurt so much I was shy. No, I had to be in high school still.
Yeah. What were you like as a teen or a child, Five?
I was very quiet. I kept to myself and I was very shy.
Yeah.
My family all the time, my family would be like, you're the quietest one in this family. Why don't you ever talk?
Yes, and
like,
now...
I got nothing to say. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yes, and now I'm like, y'all have to deal with me being outspoken and shit about stuff because you fucking asked for it. So...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel.
Did you ever have an angsty period in high school? No,
I don't think so.
Oh, dang.
Not that I remember.
You didn't watch Fooly Cooley and just be like, this resonates with me.
No, not at all.
What kind of music are you or were you into?
I was into a lot of metal, post-hardcore.
Oh, hell
all
yeah.
That stuff. A Day to Remember still is my favorite band.
So you did have an angsty phase then.
I wouldn't say it's an angsty phase because I didn't really act like it.
Yeah.
Or anything, so because I play guitar also, so that's kind of what led me into all that.
Oh, dude, we got to work on a project together.
Maybe I haven't played in some years actually, but I could get back into it easily.
Hell yeah, but that's like when people would. There was a comic book clerk that I referenced Gigi Allen
And he was like, wait, you listen to G.G. Allen? And I'm like, yeah, I really love his music. And he's like, you're too clean cut to like G.G. Allen. Like, I listened to all of this music. Also, a lot of people thought I was into rock music, even though I was into just underground hardcore hip hop, because they're like, well, you don't dress like you do. I was like, I dress comfortably.
Exactly. That's what they all said with me, too.
Yeah.
They all said the same thing to me, too. They're like, oh, you like all this music, but you don't wear all black or anything like that. You don't look like you're emo. I'm like, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what you're expecting.
I listen to the musical compositions and it gets me hype, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would be like baking listening to screamo music.
Punk Goes Christmas as well.
Hell yeah.
Oh God, Punk Goes Christmas. How many did they ever make? They made a lot of those.
Yes.
Punk Goes Pop, Punk Goes whatever.
Punk Goes Hip Hop, man. That
was actually a very good one.
I think it's cringy. I don't like
really?
it. Yeah, I don't like it when, especially like when it's like, I'm a white guy and I'm going to do an acoustic, super offensive rap song. And it's like, oh my God, cringy as hell.
We gotta get into this fucking episode. It is 40 minutes.
It's
into
insane.
The episode.
How? Okay. Well, we watched Time Ranger Battle Casino. In this episode, the Tomorrow's Research Gang, or the Time Ranger, if you will, if you're nasty.
Like, you need to timestamp in the fucking description.
I won't. So their duty is to find this man who went to a fight casino for his wife because she's like, he's been gambling for 3 days. I don't know where he is. Then we find out it's the Launderez who are fixing the fights in order to turn a profit, of course. And that's where the episode is. So, quick thoughts. What'd you guys think? It's my favorite episode of Sentai ever.
Great episode. Surprised by how dark it is.
Yeah.
So I had to rewatch it because I hadn't seen it in 3 years. That's the last time I watched Time Ranger, so I had to refresh my memory. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's pretty how do I say it? I don't want to say dark, but it's pretty serious business. You know, the risks are very high. It was very good.
And they got stuff for daddy, those waitresses in those bunny outfits, like Bulma wears.
I think you mean mommy.
Oh, something for mommy, yeah, because they also got those buff men.
No, because that was the character's name.
Oh, okay.
The wife.
All right.
And I was like, that's wife, weird.
Yeah. Mommy is mommy. So, we asked this on every Time Ranger episode 5. If you could go back in time, what would you do? And you cannot murder, so you don't need to worry about changing the past by murdering a villainous person.
I would go back in time. I would go back in time into like when I was maybe like 2 or 3 years old to see how I was, basically. I don't think I would want to interact with myself. I just would see myself from afar and not change the flow of time.
That's the most unique answer anyone has given us so far, and I like it.
Or, you know what, better yet? I'd go back in time, further back to before I was born, and become the creator of Power Rangers.
Whoa. That's
Damn.
I'd be a millionaire.
But would you, that means you would have to...
That's the bond.
You would have to stay back in time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Dang. So then you've created a many multiverse, because then you might still be born. And then it would just be this forever loop of you going back in time, creating Power Rangers, and then creating Power Rangers, living in that time. And then you in this new time period are technically, like 45 years old. Well, 29-year-old you goes back in time to create Power Rangers.
Yep, I keep doing it again and again.
Or would the younger version just kind of like disappear?
I don't think so, because that doesn't dictate.
There's never any specific there's no specifics on time travel for all these sci-fi franchises. It's either you're creating different timelines or you're replacing timelines.
Yeah. You can do whatever you want when it's time travel.
But maybe.
But those are my answers.
Maybe you would just like give money to your younger self, and then your younger self wouldn't, or you would just like take them on as
an intern.
Sure,
a paid
and then
intern.
They wouldn't feel the need to go back in time.
Nicole, if you would you kiss yourself if 40-year-old you from like a time looped future were to meet you right now, would you kiss that other?
I'm not gonna fulfill your sexual fantasies, okay? Especially on a fucking podcast.
I'll bleep it out, your answer.
Oh, God.
I'll bleep out the question, not your response. Like I'm not going to fulfill some sexual fantasy. That will be left in. But then I will bleep out your official answer. She's just shaking her head. Yes, Daddy. All right. Well, let's get into notes for this episode. I have very little because I was just enraptured.
I have a lot.
What do you want to talk about?
All right. Yeah, let's get into it.
It opens up with people like fighting in a ring, Fight Club style, but not really. And a bunch of people around gambling. And I was like, I think we've gone over this of like what the audience, what is that called? Demographic is for this show. Because I'm like, this is very like, seems very not kid friendly.
I think for this series, which Five, if you have anything else to add, I think this one was more towards like a 12-year-old demographic.
That's still really.
That's how Sentai was like back in that time, that era. Like they targeted it for like not just one specific demographic, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's different standards also for like Japanese television and then compared to US.
Yeah.
And this was probably the first time where people who watched the original series they now have kids who can watch this. So they're probably consciously thinking, hey, let's do something for both the adults and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Because, I mean, Los Luchadores, for how much you hate it, like it was like pretty, even though it was campy, it was kind of violent.
No, but I mean like there's gambling.
Yeah.
There's alcohol. They drug people.
They sedate people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing with gambling, I always knew I shouldn't gamble. I think I've touched on it before with the Pokemon slot machines, but there was this Cartoon Network online game for the Flintstones for Viva Rock Vegas, but it was in the cartoon aspect, but it was to promote that game that you could gamble, not real money. And I was like, man, this is fun. So I was like, never go to a casino, James.
I've never been to a casino.
I have.
Wow.
I have also.
Humble brag.
Plenty of times.
Okay, well, that's not a humble brag. I went once in Vegas with the $5 free thing that the hotel gave us, and that's all I spent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know when to quit. I don't have the addictive personality when it comes to that.
Okay, so they're looking for this lady's husband because he's been gambling. And I was like, seriously, they sent Domon to go check this place out. And I was like, I guess it's for like comedic purposes.
Yeah, I loved the little detail because it builds his character more when he first enters the main room and a waitress who is in a Playboy Bunny outfit walks past and he's like, oh, hell yeah. And then like just for a split second, then he's like, nope, I need to focus. Fantastic. But then he just goes around and is screaming at people watching this fight saying, do you know this guy? I'm looking for him. And of course he gets thrown out.
Yeah. They kind of sent in like the like most immature person to go into this place. Yeah. Like least responsible.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't just bet on whoever the blanket man was betting on every single time.
The blanket man?
Yeah, he had a big old blanket over him.
It was like a Grim Reaper costume that you get from a Halloween store.
Buff, like if kind of like what's his Mask of Phantasm, that like kind of that shape, or if Jason Voorhees were draped over all of this and was the Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm. AKA Blanket Man.
Yes, Blanket Man. You have Bye-Bye Man, you have Slender Man, but now we have the Blanket Man. It has to happen.
The Tall Man, the Empty Man.
Oh my God.
The list goes on.
I can't believe we've never thought about this, Nicole. Someone needs to make a Mega Man hack, like a ROM hack, with all of these horror men.
Yes.
Holy crap, that would be perfect.
That's an awesome idea. That's a perfect idea.
Anyone can have that. Just credit like concept created by Mostly Speaking Sentai and SentaiFive.
Or
I appreciate it.
I want this. A Sentai team that's all final girls.
Ooh.
And all the weekly monsters are the mans.
Or just
all the different
horror people.
Tall Man, Empty Man. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I really want to do it's the Die Ranger going on a vacation, but actually it would be better if it's either Mega Ranger or Car Ranger, because it would be comedic, going on a vacation to America and going to Crystal Lake. Mm-hmm. And then like Jason Voorhees is just a Gorma.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect for Die Ranger.
Yeah.
Because like each episode could be the villain from that final girl's like past, so then you get that flashback from that person.
Oh, like they're literally final girls.
Yeah, I need this.
It'd be a mini series because there could only be 6 max.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And the 6th Ranger is a final boy.
Sure.
Because generally it's, mainly women being final girls, but there have been final boys in a lot of...
Or it's like a 9-year-old, like in Die Ranger.
Yeah, or it could be that. But then there's a situation where it's like, well, we can't kill a 9-year-old. Like, children are always safe in most horror movies.
Yeah, they're final girls. They're not going to die anyway.
Yeah, but you want a nod at, like, the queer cinema horror movies where there are final boys.
Yeah.
Unless you don't like representation, Nicole.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. This is a classic idea. We should do this as D&D, Nicole.
That sounds complicated.
Nah, it's easy.
Okay.
5, you got any notes?
Any notes? Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Let's see. Sending in Tatsuya next was a very smart choice because obviously he practices karate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good fighter, so that was the perfect choice right there. And then it was pretty comedic when he had to fight the husband. And he's like, "Listen, I'm just gonna pretend to hit you so that you can win."
Well, and that was one of my notes.
And then
is
all
that
of a
like
sudden,
he was like saying that so loud, like everyone could hear you.
he was.
I'm like, this is so obvious. You're just yelling it.
There was also when Domon goes back into the van and he's like, man, something when I punched that dude didn't feel human. And they're like, oh, do you think this is the Laundress? And he's like, the Laundress wouldn't create a high-profile gambling battle fight casino, would they? And it's like, yeah, of course they would.
Yeah, that was the joke, is they were like, ooh, they probably would.
Ooh, slow news day. What else do I got?
And then they send the like most innocent person to drug all the drinks. They have Sion just drugging all the drinks.
Well, I think because
he just looks like he doesn't belong in there as soon as he steps through that door.
He's the smartest of the bunch, so he might know like, this is the correct dosage to
right.
not harm anyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't know. It's just so insane that they just drugged everyone.
It is, but sedated.
Like, even the fighters, like, why?
We couldn't do it now, but if this were a Crumb Bums, like Frank would be the one to put the sedation pills in every single drink. But of course he'd like fumble it and just knock it all down. So it's just like cups half full of fur and like just clumped, like very gooey sedation pills because he couldn't,
like, undissolved.
Yeah, because most of it got poured out, just caked on the sides.
Wow.
He's a cute cat.
Another thing I was like, this is a bad betting casino because, oh my gosh, what? Ayase?
Yes.
That's her name?
Oh no, Yuri. So she bet on Tatsuya, who's already won 3 fights. And they said that they won 7.8 times what they bet. And I'm like, that's an insane amount for like someone who's already won 3 fights. But maybe it's like because he has already been in so many, he has to be getting tired.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I don't know gambling odds. 5, you've been to casinos many times. Thoughts?
Yeah, but I don't gamble like that, so. My friends do, but not me.
You don't go to the horse races?
No.
I go to dog fights. That's about it. Nicole just
terrible.
moves on.
That's so bad.
So this villain, Gambler Valito, I think is what it was.
Yes.
Valito, yeah.
Is like, has like a smaller dude on top.
I mean, Valito is the smaller dude.
Okay.
It's because it's like Krang. We keep coming back to this.
But later on they freeze just him.
Yeah, the tall dude. The little guy.
Yeah.
Yes, the little guy is Valito.
And then the tall dude keeps fighting.
Yeah, because he's like a artificial intelligence mech.
It's like on autopilot, basically.
Yep. And that's why Tack said, oh, it's just a mech suit. You can destroy this. You don't need to freeze compress.
Okay.
So that's why it blows up and does not destroy any buildings around it.
But the squid guy looks like, I don't know what that character's name is, but the head with tentacles from Mighty Boosh.
Oh, yeah. One of the shamans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all I saw the whole time.
We got to rewatch Mighty Boosh.
And I wanted to be like, get my papoose.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, it's funny.
Nicole, just start saying thing and saying, yeah, what I just said's funny. It's funny.
It's so funny. Oh.
The backstage fighting area is like a fighting game roster.
Like the people?
Yeah, it looks like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's that dude? The dude in the red jacket, like Red Grizzly or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
The jacked up dude. He looked like he was straight out of Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm. There was a guy who looked like Raiden.
Oh, yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if you guys noticed or you're familiar with suit actors, but the first fight in the episode was Seiji Takaiwa, obviously famously for portraying many Kamen Riders, but he's Time Red suit actor. And then I think the second person he was fighting, was Yasuhiro Takeuchi. It looked like him. They were moving way too fast, so I couldn't really see the face. Mm-hmm. But he's also, I believe he was Time Blue's suit actor.
Oh, that's cool.
Also.
Yeah. I like when they do that.
I thought that the really buff dude was Ginga Blue, but then I was like, his face isn't as handsome as Ginga Blue's. Because that dude can get it.
He's a very good looking person.
Very good. Let me check. I just got like 2 more. No, I take all the money in the end. Just like, that's what they should have done, or redistribute it to the other people who like lost money. But
right.
If you have all that money and you guys are kind of struggling, just take some of that crime money and you're good.
Yeah, that's what heroes do.
That's what Peter Pan do. And as Courtney Amante said, Peter Pan can get it.
Okay.
The Disney version.
Yeah.
As a fox. Because that dude is a fox.
So not Peter Pan?
Yeah, that's Peter Pan the fox.
What?
The Disney movie where they're all animals. Disney's Peter Pan. No, not Peter
Which
Pan. Oh my
one?
God.
What?
Robin
There are
Hood.
many.
I meant Robin Hood. I am so sorry.
Okay.
Did I say Peter Pan stole from the rich and gave to the poor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah. And I was like, okay. You didn't say that specifically. So I was like, okay, I guess. Because Peter Pan might steal the treasure from Hook.
Absolutely. And stole his life as well.
So I was like, sure.
I meant Robin
Now
Hood.
they have to
guys.
make a Peter Pan the Fox movie.
Hell yeah.
They have to do that now.
It's crazy why they wouldn't have.
Wes
Yeah, I
Anderson
don't
should
know.
make it.
Wes Anderson's too whimsical for me. And then the graffiti in the endings, in the like back room. One of them was like Flappe VZN. So I was like, maybe Verizon was here.
Yeah.
And there were cool art designs. One might have said Garfield the Cat Rocks.
Wow.
There's a graffiti in Jew Ranger in the Sphinx episode that it says like some word than pussy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? This has to mean something. And I Googled it in quotes after watching it. And the only thing that comes up is someone on Twitter screenshotted that and said, how come in Jew Ranger it says something pussy? And I'm like, holy crap. And then I messaged or replied to it for a tweet from 7 years ago, and they never responded back.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I never noticed that. I have to look back now and pay attention.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't pause it to read all the graffiti.
We got things to talk about, Nicole.
Yeah.
We can't be pausing every time I want to see when it says
Something pussy.
yeah. Garfield is a pussy, literally.
So at the end, I thought it was weird that they brought his wife to the casino instead of bringing the husband to their headquarters.
Oh, I thought she just went there.
No, because they like come out and they're all there.
Oh.
I just thought it was weird.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What if he ended up being dead?
I know, like that's what I'm saying is like they didn't even like check to see that he was okay.
At least she's
and
there
shit.
to identify the body.
Oh, yeah. Like he ended up getting a concussion, then fell asleep and dunzoed.
Oh, yeah.
At least this episode really teaches a lesson to kids that they shouldn't gamble.
Yeah.
We'll end up in a fight club.
You shouldn't tie your tie around your head or you'll lose consciousness.
What's the practical purpose for that? Besides looking like a goofball from Weird Science.
Signaling to people that you're drunk.
Okay.
Oh, really?
No.
You said it so convincingly.
Only drunk people do that. And it's always in like movies and shit to just be like, this guy's drunk.
What's the craziest thing you guys have done while drunk?
I wouldn't remember actually.
Oh,
now that I
dang.
think about it. Oh, actually, I could. Well, I don't know how it happened, but I've like lost my wallet and all that stuff.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep, I woke up with it without it all. I was like, oh, what the hell? It's like humiliating actually.
I don't know. It's not that crazy. I haven't done anything that I would say is crazy. I like knocked over a table once.
That's crazy.
It was really embarrassing.
That's pretty crazy, especially if it was glass.
It was at a club and there were drinks on it, so they had to like get a mop out and shit. It was really embarrassing.
See, if me being a guy did that, I would get kicked out immediately.
Well, my cousin also owned the club, so they were just like, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Did you tip them, the person mopping it up?
No.
You heard it here first. Nicole's crazy with service workers. I've never been drunk, so that's why I asked you guys.
Yeah.
I've been slightly buzzed.
Okay. That's what I like to get to nowadays. I'm not who I used to be. So I like to get up to a certain point and then chill out.
Yeah, I don't really get drunk that much. It's maybe like once a year for a holiday or something.
Yeah, you haven't been drunk in maybe
holidays are fine.
Like a year or two? That time when Liz came over?
No, it was at Mickey's house.
Oh, wait, this most recent time?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you got drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, dang. I should have been there.
Oh,
No, you shouldn't. I was not. That night did not end well at all.
But it would have ended well if I were there because, like, I keep things light and I make sure people are in bed before midnight.
wow. You're very on top of it.
Because nothing good ever happens after midnight.
After midnight, yep. I get that all the time. And it's true. Look at my situation that I just told you.
Yeah.
All right, does anyone else have any closing thoughts on the episode?
I guess it's just like I said, it really teaches a harsh lesson to kids that you should not be gambling.
I really like this episode because it felt like not a heist movie. Like they were like, oh, we all got to go undercover and take these people out, pretend we're waiters. And she's like, oh, I'm going to pretend I'm betting. And then he's like, I'm going to get into the fights. And they're all undercover doing a thing. And it was cool.
My last thing to say about this is I know there are some people, like some of our friends, who listen to this show but never watch Super Sentai, which is totally fine. We make it so you are able to do that. However, this episode, I highly recommend you take the time and watch it. It is so good. I think out of all the Sentai episodes that I've seen, the only one that compares is the 5-man first episode, like the series premiere. Because that, holy fuck, is that so good. Like, I was like, is the entire series going to be like this? Of course it's not. They would have ran out of money.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend this, especially if you're into things like Bloodsport, Mortal Kombat, any, late 80s to mid 90s martial arts movies. That is this episode condensed down into 24 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I definitely describe it, because this is like around the time where it's like coming off of all those types of movies too.
Mm-hmm.
At like the height of them. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All the criminals, the Laundrez family, it's always their name and then their crime, their the thing that they're known for when it comes to crime. What they got thrown in jail for. So today it was like a gambler.
Velito.
We've had blackmailers, etc. So if you were to be a Laundrez member, what would your crime be? It's SentaiFive crime inserted here.
Murderer 5.
Whoa. How so?
There we go. That's it. Oh, how so?
Yeah. So like how would that make you money for the Laundrez family, and how would you
I'd be a hitman.
Okay. We've narrowed it down to hitman instead of just overall murderer.
Instead of murderer.
So contract killer.
Actually, Assassin 5.
Ooh.
We'll change it to that. Assassin 5.
Now you're high profile kills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And I get the job done mostly without any evidence, but my accomplice was someone working for the Time Defense Agency, and they ratted me out.
Oh no.
Something like that. I don't know.
5. No. I feel so bad for you.
Yeah. So I decided to join the Laundars.
So that's how you're making money. And how would you try to kill the
Time Rangers?
Yeah. Like, what's your special attack or something?
I guess I would look like a ninja, and then I would just kind of follow the Time Rangers without them knowing, look into their daily lives, and then just pick them off one by one after their normal routines.
Oh, that's nice.
I'd probably end up fighting Tatsuya, and then Tatsuya would probably end up killing me or arresting me. He wouldn't kill me.
Freezing.
He would arrest me. I don't know how he would arrest me, but it would just come down to me and him eventually.
Hell yeah.
I like this because, people say, well, a ninja isn't just someone in a all black covering sheet.
Man, this is the future.
Yeah, so like it's about being
ninja isn't just a blanket, man.
Yeah. It's about looking the part, so like looking inconspicuous and blending in. So it would be really nice to, as an Easter egg, to go back in the episode to rewatch it and see if you can pick out Assassin SentaiFive, Assassin 5,
yeah.
and where he is in all these scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
That's basically it.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What you got to plug?
That's a good question. Nothing at the moment, really. Just my YouTube. Just my YouTube is normal. You can follow me on Twitter at SentaiFive. You can follow the Legion of Boom also, and Buildcasters. That's basically it. Otherwise, it's the holiday season. I'm laying low.
Nice. Nicole?
Okay. Follow Darling Homebody on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Go to darlinghomebody.com for creepy, cute stuff. I have just put up 2 new stickers the other day. And patreon.com/darlinghomebody for a monthly sticker or magnet.
Hey guys, go to mlmpod.com for links to listen to my other podcasts such as What the Hell Mouth, This Movie's Gay, and Hit It and Crit It. Or you can just search those wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. And while you're over there on mlmpod.com, you can listen to my rap music, download all my CDs for free. Besides, I think one of them you have to pay a little bit of money for. Under Marshland Monster, you can also listen to a selection of my albums because they don't have samples on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that stuff. If you're into tokusatsu stuff, King Kaiser X is a great starting off point. I'm sampling Godzilla soundtracks, and it's hardcore rap music. It's very good. Then check out our Twitch because that's where we'll be streaming the live episodes this month. It's twitch.tv/mostly speaking Sentai. And check out our Patreon at patreon.com/MLMpod, where you'll get exclusive Patreon podcasts such as talking about Beyblade, Engage with Nicolas Cage, the Toku Reading Corner, and the Podcast That Be. But if you're a $10 patron, you get shout outs and exclusive streams every single month. So let's shout those people out because they're so generous with their time and their money. Oh, and the pictures they're sending me in the DMs of them listening to the podcast. I'm kidding. None of them do that.
Oh.
So shouting out Steve F., a.k.a. Hit People Guy. He's so generous. He's so lovely. Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour. Oh, Eric, I'm so excited for you to get your Christmas gift from me. Then we have Alex Z, a.k.a. The Waz, the greatest boss I've ever had. That's for real. Orion, rapper Defo is what they go by, though. I mean, they go by Defo, not rapper Defo. Even though we should MC Defo, hell yeah. Kayla, the 2 Grapes. That's their user handle on Twitter, so that's why we call them 2 Grapes. Duo Grunfox, they're 2 Fox for the price of Grun. And they're big fans of Gundam. Tyler Wright. Oh my God, Tyler Wright. I've known him since like 2007, and he was drunk and he said, yo man, I heard that song you made about Chelsea Bodick being good friends, and like if there were more guys like you, like the world would be a better place. He really said that. Very drunk as a teenager. And finally, Elliot W, a.k.a. Garlic Sunshine on Instagram, a fantastic artist, has done fan art for This Movie's Gay, Drew, not Nicole, Corwin and I in his style, and Franklin in his style, and it was super cute and made me cry. And that's it. I think that's all I have to plug. Thank you again so much, Five, for coming aboard.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me. Seriously.
I've been James.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm SentaiFive.
And we've been Mostly Speaking Sentai. Bye-bye. Oh, and until we meet again in the big cupboard in the sky, I love you, Franklin.
I love you more.
Were you saying that to me or to Franklin?
To Frank.
Okay. At least I know he loves me more.
No.
See you guys. Bye.
Why 心を惑わすそう時のミステリーは Why 誰にも解けない Yes 青いメビウス
Whew.
Wow.
All
that
right.
was incredible.
Thank you.
You went with bagel-colored paint chips.
Yeah, at the end, bagel
Not
color.
practical beige?
Oh, no, the first one was practical beige.
Oh, okay. I must
Then I
have blacked out for a minute.
Yeah, that's what you always do during the intros. Okay. Oh, I'm sweaty now. Oh. This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today.